Thanks for coming. Appreciate all you being here. Super happy for our team, super happy for our staff, the Bowling Green people, and we got to continue to improve. There was a lot left on the field offensively in this past game that we need to clean up. I thought our defense played exceptional, just like I said after the game. Special teams, minusing the one return, was also very good. And offensively, we did some good things. We moved the ball up and down the field. We just couldn't finish in the red zone, and we missed some opportunities for some huge plays early. And for us to continuing to have success, we need to make sure that all three units are firing at the same pace. At times we've done that, at times we haven't this year. And we're playing some really good offenses coming up, especially this week. I think Kent State's offense is exceptional. And, all three units are going to have to be clicking to give us a chance to have success. I think this team, this Kent State team, knows how to win. They've won in the past. They're explosive. They're good on defense. They're good on special teams. They're creative on special teams. And we need to have our best week of preparation and really get all three units clicking together to have a chance to compete against Kent.
You mentioned the offense. I mean, when you look back at the film, was it more just execution, or was it what Western Michigan was presenting defensively? What was kind of the...
No, Western Michigan is a tough prep, really hard prep, one of the hardest that we've had to in terms of schematics. I thought we did a good job of preparing for them. We had a really good plan. On the first drive, we had C.J. Lewis wide open on a deep over that literally you could have thrown backwards and completed the ball for a 40-yard touchdown pass, and we busted in a protection that we shouldn't have. So a lot of it had to do with some critical errors, and then obviously the turnovers. You don't turn the ball over. That's why we've been winning. We've been playing really good defense, and we haven't been turning the ball over. And when you turn over the football like we did and lose the turnover battle, essentially, it's hard to win. And we're very fortunate that our defense played well, very fortunate that our special teams played well. But all the things that offensively that we had miscues on are all things that can be corrected in a minute. And we've done these things all year long for the most part. Minus in the beginning of the season, we've been doing the things that it takes to play winning football. But just like I said, there were some things that we did really well. We'd have 80-yard drives and not score. So it's finishing, it's the details, it's all the little things. And even as good as we played on defense, there's some things that we have to clean up there also. So it's always a work in progress. You're never happy, and so we're just constantly trying to improve in all three phases.
When you go into a game that's low scoring, obviously you mentioned every MAC game is going to be a one-score game, and every play can decide the game. As you're going through, and especially in the second half, when the game's within this touchdown, I mean, how kind of different or difficult is that for the team, knowing that, or how, I guess, exciting is it for you to see your defense kind of step up, knowing, that game was that close pretty much the whole game?
Well, I think the difference between the teams in the past, obviously there's some major differences, but one aspect is the air went out of everyone's tires when we had the turnover in the north end zone here on the left hash. And in years past, they would have folded their tents. It would have took the complete emotion out of the game, and we would have lost. And what happened was our kids rose to the occasion. They had energy. They had juice. They didn't feel sorry for themselves, and they played really hard on defense. And then when we got the ball back offensively, we were able to keep the ball, which was great. We were able to end the ball in victory. Getting that key first down was absolutely essential. I thought it was a great run by Jiason, along with really good blocking up front. So just like I said, you're 3 plays away from that being a 35, 33, 32 ball game to 3, to be quite honest with you. I mean, there's 3 or 4 plays that you'd love to have back, but just like you've said, this is the MAC. Like my big emphasis to the guys is that those 3 or 4 plays in this next week in particular, it's going to matter, just because of you can't waste those opportunities.
Holding any team to 9 points is impressive, no matter who you're playing. I mean, when you look back at that, I mean, is it more impressive to see on film just what your guys defensively were able to do in terms of just keeping Western Michigan out of the end zone?
Well, they had a young quarterback, and obviously we're really good up front. We were able to disguise multiple coverages. We had a couple new pressures in the game plan. They mixed it up well, and we played really well up front. And that's the key for us, is we got to play great defense. And it's been 4 years ago we said it, and everyone looked just because of the league is such a scoring league that you're really going to build the defense first. Well, yes, we are. And that's our philosophy. We want to play great defense. In the month of November, you got to be able to run the ball. And, we're going to be fortunate enough here on Wednesday to have good weather again. But if you can't play good defense and run the ball in the end of November, whenever it's sideways rain and 35, 45 mile an hour winds here in Bowling Green, it's hard to win. So, we're always going to build our defense, and that's why we're doing some pretty cool things right now.
Would you almost prefer terrible weather at this time of year?
This week I do. This week you absolutely do. I think this Kent State offense is very good. I think offensively, if we can, correct those 3 or 4 things, we can score points too. So, who knows how this could be a shootout. This could be a defensive. I mean, you never know. You got to go out there and adapt and adjust based on how the game's flowing. But I do know this: we've got to win the turnover battle. That's been our key. Protecting the ball, getting the ball back, and that's going to be absolutely essential to give us a chance to have an opportunity to compete and win.
And just bigger picture, you mentioned the air coming out of tires within a game. You guys had 2 losses this year that could have been demoralizing in the course of the season, the Eastern Kentucky and then how the Buffalo game unfolded. What does it kind of say to you? I guess, did you ever question where the team would go from there, and what does it say about how they responded to both of them?
I really don't. Just like I said, the Eastern Kentucky game, everyone thought that was just an average team. Well, this Eastern Michigan's a pretty good football team. They took Toledo down to a 3-point ball game, and it was the same course of events with EKU as it was Eastern. It was a hard-fought, came down to the last drive type of game. And, we let a bunch of opportunities slip away in that game not to finish it like Eastern did. And the fact of the matter is I thought our kids played really well, and I knew they would respond well to Marshall, which they did. The one that I've only had one really disappointing deal, and that was Buffalo. And that was just because of a lack of emotion. We kind of lost who we were in that game. And but our kids responded really well. And that's all you can ask for in this league is go out and play your tails off, have great energy, play together as a team, care about each other, and give yourself a chance. Because just like I said, these MAC games are going to come down to 1, 2, 3 plays, and everyone's good, everyone's equal. I think, just like I keep saying, I think Toledo's hands down the most talented team that is in this league. I truly believe that, and I think if you asked anyone, they would say that. But it's one play at a time, 1 week at a time, one practice at a time, and see where things go. But I know that we've got our hands full this week.
With the guys that you brought into this program, the way you've seen them buy in, how much would you maybe attribute Wednesday's win to the characteristics and qualities that you can't necessarily teach?
Well, I think we've had to learn and teach and learn some more over these last few years, and it's been fun to watch the guys that have stayed here the whole time change and buy in, and it's been fun to watch the newcomers check their egos at the door and buy into our locker room. The biggest worry about the transfer portal and this and that is that you bring people into your locker room that you spent 3 years of trying to get the culture right, and then all of a sudden 3 or 4 guys can ruin that in a minute. And we were really fortunate that these guys that we brought in bought into what we are. And we were lucky through recruiting to evaluate those kids and find out that they're what we want. And that's not easy to do right now. The way the NCAA have made these rules with the transfer portal and how they're limiting contact. Like right now, for example, the kids in the portal you can't talk to till December 8th. And that's really hard in roughly 20-some days to evaluate their parents, evaluate their character, evaluate if they can play, evaluate if they fit in. So there's some challenging pieces to this whole thing.
With the start of action and the schedule adjustments that you have to make, you mentioned how tough that prep was going into last week. How do you kind of balance with the self-inflicting wounds you guys faced on Wednesday? The preparation for your opponent, but also maintaining those details and fundamentals along the way.
Yeah, just like I said, I don't think it was a fundamental issue whatsoever. I don't. I thought our kids played well. We just missed a few assignments and a few opportunities that you would love to have back. It's amazing. 3 or 4 plays in a game could have totally changed. You would have said, if we would have executed those 3 or 4 plays with Matt's completion percentage and we don't fumble the ball, you would have said that was our best offensive performance. You literally would have walked out of here and felt great about what the offense did, but that's how slim the margin for error is right now. 3 or 4 things happened differently. We would have walked out of here and went, damn, we played a complete game. But we didn't, so we got to clean it up, get back to doing what we do, and hopefully play better.
Okay, just bigger picture. I know this isn't your main goal, but obviously a huge opportunity. Bowl eligibility is obviously a big milestone in the evolution of this program. What would that mean to you guys?
You know what? We just really haven't even talked about it, haven't discussed it, and we're not. We're going to take day to day. We can't control a lot of things, but what we can control is what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. And the minute that your mind starts wandering about things that you really can't control or what the future is going to be, you'll get your tail kicked in a New York minute in this league. And all our focus has got to be on us improving. All our focus has got to be on being able to execute and play really, really hard against Kent State. And after that, that's all you can ask for. But get ahead of our skis in terms of thinking about things in the future, I think it's, as Coach Saban would say, what is it, rat poison? Yeah, rat poison. I think that's rat poison, to be quite honest with you.
I just want to clarify one last thing. With Matt McDonald, with the COVID year, the transfer year, redshirt year, can he come back next year? Is he planning to come back next year? Has that been decided?
We would love for him to be able to. That year that Matt filed his waiver, I want to say 2 quarterbacks out of 30 received their year of eligibility. So really, in all actuality, the rule changed 6 months after he was deemed ineligible. And hoping to goodness that the NCAA would have some common sense with some of these kids that lost a year of football when the rule changed, and also the inconsistency of how did 30 guys get their waiver and 2 didn't. It makes a lot of things with that whole thing doesn't make sense. Just like I said with the Jakari thing, the Jakari thing was as bizarre. I mean, he was a poster child. And when I mean a poster child for a kid to receive. That's why the NCAA created the waiver program for Jakari situations. So, hopefully they do the right thing with Matt too.
You mentioned you guys aren't obviously looking forward to a lot of football to play, but obviously coming into this season, at least on the outside, there wasn't a whole lot of expectations for this program. For you guys to rack up all these wins, is that something that continues to fuel this team, knowing that you guys maybe weren't supposed to be in this position?
I think everyone outside the building knew that, and then we were told that there's no way in heck that we're ever going to turn the table after how things started. But I really honestly believe our kids believe, and they know where we're at, and just like I said, to the outside world, just like, we're all upset and up in arms about how the offense played. 3 things change and the whole perception changes. And, we're really not concerned about the wins that occurred in the past. We got to be, can't worry about the future, can't worry about the past. We got to lock into Kent State. And if we start talking about the future, talking about the past, I think it's really dangerous in this league. There's too many good teams and too many good coaches to pat yourself on the back or, worry about what could happen. So I'm just hoping tomorrow is a Tuesday and tonight's a Monday. Geez, I hope tonight's practice is great, and then look forward to getting up tomorrow morning and have the best Tuesday practice we can possibly have. So just like I said, it's chaotic MAC football, so we'll see what happens.